Hey guys, Nick here with Picture This, and today we're doing our full review of the Canon 80D. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, the Canon 80D. I've had this camera for 4 weeks, going on 5 I think, and I have to say, bugs, I have to say, it's been pretty enjoyable. The autofocus is great, the video is great, that 24 megapixel sensor, great. It's very robust and large, which is, I thoroughly enjoy it. Like the ergonomics, that's really good too. So let's just get rid of the generalizations here and let's get straight into photo specs. So this camera is rocking a 24.2 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor with dual pixel AF. If you don't know what some of that means, basically it's a crop sensor, not a full frame sensor, and it's got the Canon's dual pixel autofocus, which uses both halves of the sensor to do contrast detect and phase detect, I believe, to give you that great like tracking autofocus where it's like tracking my face right now. Yeah, that's your dual pixel autofocus working for you. Another thing I like about it in terms of image quality is again that 24.2 megapixel sensor. It's really crisp for photos and whatnot. That ISO range goes all the way up to 25,600 and expandable up to 51,200, I believe. I would never recommend cranking it up that high because then it's going to be really noisy and it's going to look terrible. Another thing for photos is with the dual pixel autofocus, you do get that tap to focus, you get a bunch of other features, and it's pretty sweet. In terms of photos, it's really quick. I think 7 frames per second if you're shooting in that continuous burst mode, which is pretty sweet. I think I don't do a lot of like sports photography and whatnot, so it's not a huge deal to me, but if you're really into sports and that type of thing, then 7 frames a second, it's gonna be great for you. It is a DSLR, not mirrorless, but I'm sure you already knew that. And I guess let's just get straight into the video specs. So this camera, like I said, 24.2 megapixel sensors, it's got the dual pixel autofocus, and I think it's pretty decent for video. I mean, what do you guys think? Does this video look okay so far, quality wise? You can shoot all the way up to 1080 at 60p, so you can get some really sweet slow motion, which is another great feature. My T2i didn't have that. It had 1080 up to 30, so you couldn't really do slow-mo with it, so that's why I would do the Samsung NX300M for all my slow-mo and stuff like that. Also, it's got a flip LCD screen that I'm like looking at some periodically, and it's pretty good. Flips all the way out, very angle, almost 360 degree rotation, flips in and out, up and down, basically any direction you want to flip it, you can move it. It also is touch sensitive, so you can touch and change your settings and everything like that. You can tap to focus in video and it'll do the tracking of whatever you tap it to, which is pretty sweet. Like I said, it's got tons of video features. You can actually shoot in C-Log. If you go down the description below, I've linked a video from, I believe, Odile Ermatov, who shows you how to go into the settings and get C-Log on your Canon 80D, which is pretty cool. If you guys watched last video, that Instagram story that I made was shot in C-Log, and I color graded it and everything like that, and I thought it turned out pretty good. So yes, this camera doesn't have C-Log natively, but you can install the picture profile on it, which is pretty neat. Another thing that this camera is great for in video is just overall quality, I think. It's a big step up from like the T2i or the Samsung NX300M or something like that. So that's pretty neat. So yeah, I really enjoy the quality and just the picture in general out of this camera. The colors are great too, straight out of camera, so if you aren't really in the mood for editing or you don't really know how, then you can just kind of record and upload and splice things together and whatnot, and then it'll come out okay. So I'm going to put photos on the screen first and talk about them a little bit and show you just the general quality of image output that this camera is capable of. So then for video stuff, I'll probably put like a video or something like that that I've done with this camera. I really wanted it for the video because I saw what it could do with that dual pixel autofocus, and that's something I really wanted because of this face tracking. When I'm recording a video of myself, I don't have to worry about not being in focus or something like that because the autofocus is so good. Also, it's just pretty smooth in general. My T2i, my video is like really shaky. This camera doesn't have IBIS or digital image stabilization or anything like that, but just its weight, I think, helps me stabilize my footage a little bit better. And I guess my overall, I think overall this camera is pretty good. It's like the Swiss Army knife of cameras, I guess you could say. It basically does everything. It takes good photos, takes good video, but it is a little pricey. Again, I got mine used, no lenses, no batteries, no nothing, for $600, and that was just the body only, okay? And if you want it used on B&H, it was going like $779, I think, but usually they're $750 to $800 or upwards from there. But if you want new, or if you want with accessories and whatnot like that. If you don't have that kind of money and you don't really think that it's gonna be worth the investment for you, I do recommend the Canon Rebel T7 or the T7i because it's a little less pricey, but you're getting the same features. You're getting the same sensor, you're getting the dual pixel autofocus, you're getting all that, the main features of this camera, but you aren't getting like that robustness, and you're losing out on a little bit of the video specs. But if you're really just doing this for photos or something like that, then the video shouldn't be that important to you, and the T7i would be great. Because honestly, this was a really big purchase and it's gonna last me a long time, and I'm gonna enjoy this camera. But if you aren't willing to spend that kind of money, or you don't have that kind of money, the T7, T7i, great cameras. They do amazing video, amazing photos, and the menu system, the Canon menu system, is awesome. You'll be able to figure it out so quick and you'll be ready to roll so fast. It's gonna be just insane. So I mean, with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the change of scenery here, for today at least, and I'll see you guys in the next one.